Okay, miss, this is about the 7th or 8th time that you've been by this way in the past 2 hours. But that's okay. Dying can be disorienting. So here's what I want you to do. Listen to me, okay? What you're looking for is your own personal paradise. Where you're at right now is the Gates of Judgement. See the gates behind me? All right, now, here's what you're going to do. You're going to go back the way you came, find the pearly gates, go through them. You shouldn't have any trouble. They'll let you right in. And as soon as you're in there, you keep walking until you find a door that is singing out your name. Like literally singing, like vocally, all right? As soon as you hear that, you go through that door, you'll be there, okay? All right, good luck to you. You seem particularly chipper this morning. What's the occasion? Hermes! Today's the day I can feel it. Oh yeah? You mean like the last 500 times you felt it? It's different this time. I've been here for 5 Bear Me's. Literally, this is my 5 Bear Me anniversary today. If that's not enough time to prove myself, I don't know how much time it's going to take. So this is the day that I finally get that promotion and become a soul collector. Is that what you really want? Being one of the official reapers, bringing mortal souls from there to here? Desperately. I feel like I could do a lot of good there. See the world, or worlds depending on the assignment. Help people. I just feel like today's the day. It's gonna happen for me, I know it. Well, I mean, I guess it's possible. I do have an envelope right here. Envelope? There's an envelope? Mm-hmm. It has your name on it and everything. Gimme. All right. Come on. All right. Dear Angelo, we are pleased to inform you that your request for promotion has been approved. Yes! Congratulations, my main Reaper man! These gates won't be the same without you. You're hereby promoted to... What? What, are they sending you to a weird dimension or something? It's not one of those that's only populated by shrimp, right? I hear those suck. No, it's... This can't be right. Well, stop keeping me in suspense. What is it? They're making me a supervisor. Of here. Supervisor? Aren't you literally the only person that works here? Well, yeah, but apparently they're starting a new program? Gods, they're sending me an intern. And I think they're here.
Yeah, I've got a delivery here for the Gates of Judgement.
Oh, my... I am going to have to get the full story on this later, okay? I've got deliveries to make, and I've got to talk to Curon. Good luck, Angelo. Woo! Big boy, aren't you? So you're the representative from hell, and you've got an intern for me?
Is that what they're calling the prisoner? An intern? Well, if that's what the powers that be are saying, then yes, I've got your intern right here.
Slow down there. I'm already lost. You're giving me, what, a soul that was previously damned to hell?
That's the sum of it, yes. Are you going to sign for this or what?
Not without an explanation, no.
Fine, all right. So it seems the front desk of hell had a recent Karen-esque figure come through and refuse to leave the front area. At first, she just laid on the floor and they called her a rug. Watching how the people at the front help theft were treated. She eventually started helping out and as a result has become a better person.
Okay, so good for her.
The powers that be have decided to try to replicate that experiment by having another soul, almost as equally bad, have a different customer service position.
Oh, and you want me to be in charge of this soul? You want me to be a coach for rehabilitation? No. That is a terrible, awful, no good, very bad idea.
Unfortunately for you, it's pointless to complain to me. Sign here, please.
Fine. This is stupid. Putting me in charge of a damn soul. Probably not even worth the effort. This is ridiculous. Here.
Thank you. By the way, you should be getting an email with the soul's dossier shortly. Speaking of which, Hey, worthless maggot, get over here. There you go. He's your problem now.
Hi. Is this the, judgment room or whatever? The Gates of Judgment, yeah. Oh, good. I kinda needed some help if that's okay. Yeah, tell you what, boss. Why don't you wait for me outside, have a line form behind you, and I'll call you in soon. I have a situation I need to deal with. Okay. I'll be out. Okay. Are we just going to stare at each other for the next eternity, or can we get on with this? So you're the soul damned to hell that they've seen fit to give me as an intern. I suppose so. My name is... Your name is Intern, or Hey You, until such a time as I deem fit that you have earned a name. That's a bit dehumanizing, don't you think? Is it any more dehumanizing than maggot, which the demon called you earlier? Fair enough. Yeah, well, I guess this is supposed to be some sort of rehabilitation for you. That's the intention, I guess, with this whole exercise. You don't seem that enthusiastic about it. This rehabilitation is pointless. Nobody ever really changes. That's always been my philosophy. What's that saying? A leopard never changes its spots. Huh. Are you wearing fuzzy handcuffs? Ah, yes. Well, evidently, prisoner transport is not really a priority in hell. Go figure. So they had to borrow these pair from somebody at the front desk that had a chest of toys? I don't know. Either way, she said that we could keep them because she had other ones and they're actually better. These are quite effective, if I do say so myself. But, yes. Fuzzy handcuffs. Yeah. I'd expect Penny to have something like that in her drawer. Anyway, if you're going to work here, you need training. So, stand there, shut up, watch, and learn. Alright? If you do anything to piss me off, you're going right back to where you came from. Okay? Next! Hello and welcome to the Gates of Judgement. Where do you want or need to go? So the front desk kind of told me that this is the place I needed to go in order to be assigned an afterlife. I see. Did you have a belief system when you were alive? Not really. My parents weren't overly religious and I never felt the need to look into it myself, so no core belief system. Well, without a core belief system, there are certain afterlives that are unfortunately out of bounds for you. So like no Christian heaven or whatever. Would it help if I converted now? Not really. Converting at this point wouldn't really do anything because you have the evidence to support it. It's called faith and not fact for a reason. Still, if you wanted to get judged by Christian means, we could make that happen for you. Don't bother. Never really liked the judginess of Christianity anyway. Totally understandable. Still, you do have the possibility of getting some kind of paradise option in the afterlife. Like what? Well, for some afterlives, it kind of depends on how you died. So give me a moment, let me take a look at your paperwork. I see. So you died by basically slipping and falling on your head. Yeah, that's what I was told. I don't really remember too much of it, to be honest. I think I was just walking down the street. My foot fell the wrong way. I tripped. My head hit the concrete, and that's all she wrote. I would have picked a more dignified way to die if I could have picked myself, but I guess it was my time. Okay, well, unfortunately, a realm like Valhalla and other warrior-based deaths are unlikely to take you. Actually, there is a particular afterlife that I did want to know more about. Oh, which one? I was out there for a little while, and so I decided to go through the pamphlets and brochures that you had on display for the different afterlives. Oh, by the way, you're nearly out of the Norse afterlife brochures. Yeah, the Thor movies have really gotten everybody hyped about Valhalla. Unfortunately, Odin is very, very picky. Anyway, I was wondering if you could tell me more about the Aztec afterlife. Ooh, that's actually a rare one. Not a lot of people like to go to the Aztec afterlife. So, Mictlan, and I'm not entirely sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, is actually an afterlife where a soul has to go through a series of challenges for a minimum of 4 years in order to reach a paradise. What kind of challenges? Admittedly, I don't know all of them. They kind of keep that under wraps so that people don't get spoiled and try to train for it, if you know what I mean. But there's one that I know about specifically, and it involves going through a mountain range that is crashing down around you. It sounds, admittedly, a little dangerous, but also incredibly cool. Okay, but what happens if I get hurt? Or, my soul doesn't make it? Do I just stop existing? No. Nothing like that. It used to be like that, but Makantakutli, the Aztec death god, got really pissed off that not a lot of people were choosing his afterlife option. So instead, what they've decided to do is when your soul gets destroyed beyond, reasonably being able to go forward, you start again from the very beginning. It's kind of like a very tough video game system. So you're able to go through it, you still keep the knowledge in your head, and your body still is able to remember how to do certain things. So it gets a little bit easier each time. But it is going to take longer than 4 years. Some people, after a while, opt out because they kind of get sick of it, but it is still entirely possible to earn an afterlife there. You know what? That sounds right up my alley. Working hard for a reward sounds, well, rewarding. So, yeah, if it's okay, I think I'll go with that one. Really? That is genuinely surprising. Not a lot of people take this option once I've kind of laid it out for them. But, okay, if you'd like to do that, give me 1 second. All right, so you should be all set. They should be expecting you in the Aztec afterlife now. Just head through those gates behind me. They should be set for the Aztec afterlife. Once you're through there, you are all set. They'll point you in the right direction. Good luck to you. Okay. Thank you. I don't understand what you just did to that soul. What? You mean help them? No, you allowed him to pick the Aztec afterlife when clearly the Christian afterlife was the one you should have told him to go for. It's what he wanted. Why didn't you just tell him to pick the Christian one? I mean, clearly it's the correct one. I am a prisoner of hell. No, that's not how it works here in the afterlife, and especially not here at the Gates of Judgment. If you die with a belief system of your own, great, you're judged according to that system. However, if you die questioning or without a core belief system, then there are certain options available to you. Yes, Christianity is one of them, but it's not the only option. That doesn't make sense. That would mean that more than one religion is right. Yaha? What's your point? That's simply not how I was raised. Religion was either right or wrong. You were either a devout Christian who believed in Jesus, or you were doomed to hell. Typical misconception of the mortal world. People always think they're right. I mean, of course they do. The thinking is, I'm a good person in my own head, therefore, I must be right. But just because you're a religious person doesn't make you a good person. What does being good have to do with anything? I accepted Jesus as my Lord and Savior. That was supposed to be enough. My, you were programmed with all the toxic traits of Christianity, weren't you? Did you even have a system of morals? Morals are a societal construct that get in the way of what needs to be done. And that right there is probably the biggest reason why you were sent to hell. Ridiculous. Let's go back for a moment. You accepted Jesus. So what? What does that matter? Jesus died for my sins. Literally, died to forgive my sins. Why should I be held accountable for them if he has already forgiven them? You realize you sound ridiculous, right? One, that kind of thinking is a trait of the bad Christians. You don't want to go down that route. Second, if getting into paradise was as simple as believing that one guy was God's child, then Susan Atkins, Ted Bundy, and Jeffrey Dahmer, who all converted right before they died, would be partying with the likes of Betty White, Robin Williams, and Mr. Rogers. Does that sound right to you? No response, eh? I'm not sure that I have a good answer for that. Therefore, I stay quiet. That might be the smartest thing you said since you got here. Although I do resent being compared to serial killers and rapists. Oh, don't get your undies in a twist. So which religion is right then? No, you're not getting it. Christianity is a possibility, one of many. With religion, it's about how you use it, not belief in the right one. Many people use religion as a crutch to justify their immoral actions, and that's wrong. They spread hate and call it love. But, and I can tell you this without a shadow of a doubt, any God is more likely to forgive an atheist who spreads messages of love rather than a devout believer who spreads nothing but hate. Without a shadow of a doubt. Who made you omniscient superpower of the afterlife? Hey, I've met most gods. Pretty much all of them except Mohammed. He's usually a no-show at functions. I still don't understand the logic of this whole afterlife system. Multiple religions, multiple possibilities within those religions. It all just seems too complicated. Then allow me to uncomplicate it for you, at least a little bit. In the afterlife, yes, there are many options, many religions. However, usually it boils down to 4 possibilities. Paradise, punishment, reincarnation, or oblivion. I'm following so far. Paradise options are often the result of living well, or hard work in a punishment realm. Damned souls can often work for redemption in some cases. Like me, apparently. Yeah, take, for instance, the soul that just went through here a little bit ago. He chose the Aztec realm. However, if he had chosen to be judged by Christianity, he might have gone to hell. A low level of hell, mostly to work on himself a little bit, but still technically a punishment dimension. However, because he chose the Aztec realm, his journey through Mictlan is basically considered a type of punishment / redemption. He has to work for his paradise. Therefore, he will earn it. I suppose that makes sense. Punishment levels are usually achieved through being a bad person in life. Depending on the afterlife chosen, there are different levels of punishment depending on the level of bad a person was while they were alive. And here I have to dispute the afterlife system. What constitutes a person as bad precisely? What are the parameters of bad? That varies depending on the mythology. Generally, if you're a bad person because of mental issues or things of that nature, then you're only given a low-level punishment in whatever afterlife you choose. However, if you are intentionally a bad person in life, then you will get a worse punishment. The worse you are in life, the worse your punishment gets. I think there's an argument to be made about a person's intentionality. Spare me. Besides, I don't make the rules, I just enforce them. Fine, moving on. Reincarnation is either 1, a possibility for those who have been living in the afterlife for a while and want a second chance at living a mortal life. 2, a part of the religion that they chose in life. Or 3, a necessity if you've been through hell or a hell-like dimension and you've earned your redemption. However, you cannot earn a paradise without living a good life in the mortal realm first. I object to what the afterlife calls a good life. I would argue that my life was pretty good. Being rich is not the same as living a good life. How did you know I was rich? To my knowledge, you haven't read my dossier yet. You hold yourself with the air of the upper class. It wasn't hard to guess. In other words, you think you're good at reading people. I am excellent at reading people, yes. It comes with the job, eventually. Okay, what about oblivion? Oblivion is for those who are done with existence. Think of it like an endless void. A soul just walks into it and just ceases. Some people find peace in it. That seems like a desperate move. Some people do get that desperate. A soul just gets tired sometimes. You're looking a bit introspective. Do you want to talk about it? No. I don't know you that well yet. Fine. If you're not ready to talk, I'll accept that. Ours is not to judge, but to guide. Now quiet, there are more souls to help. Next! Hello and welcome to the Gates of Judgement, where we send you where you deserve to be. How can I help you? I hope you're more competent than the idiots at the front desk. Totally useless to me. Refuse to put me where I deserve to be. You can help me, can't you? Well, let's see. I should be getting your dossier right about now. Ah, yes, I see the problem here. Yes, thank you. You clearly see that I deserve to be in heaven. They tried to make me go to hell. Idiots. No, nothing like that. See, the problem I've identified is that you're yet another entitled ass that thinks she deserves something just because she wants it. I don't think I deserve something. I know I deserve heaven. I was a good Catholic woman. I went to church, I confessed my sins, and I honored the most important commandments. Really? Well, I guess, coveting thy neighbor's wife wasn't exactly one of the important ones for you. Or, I guess in your case, husband. Husbands. Holy halibut, lady, how many times did you cheat? Well, I never got caught by my husband, so it shouldn't count. Oh, you are just a treat, aren't you? See, you got no response to me, so you know I'm right. No, your bogus argument simply wasn't worth responding to. Besides, your husband did know. In fact, he was also cheating, with multiple women. And a few men as well. He was? That jackass, I knew something was up. Anyway, if he was cheating on me too, that means my cheating has canceled out. Therefore, I wasn't a bad person. Therefore, I should get to go to heaven. Ha! You know exactly why that's a bad argument, lady. Now, off to hell, where you belong. Okay, wait. What if I decide that I don't believe in Catholicism anymore? What if I wanted to convert to a different religion? Like, the Jewish one. I don't think they have a hell. That's not really how it works around here, but fine. Let's see how this would play out. Many of the still functioning religions out there simply won't take you because you insulted them a number of times. Especially Judaism, and Hinduism, and Muslim, and Wicca. You know what? At this point, it would be way easier and faster to list the religions that you didn't insult. Well, of course I did. They were ludicrous. They didn't even believe in Jesus Christ. What even is Buddhism anyway? With the old mythologies, at least the ones that will still take you, they still have a punishment realm, which you would still end up in, because you were not a good person. Now, would you like to actually toddle off to hell like I told you to, or do you want me to get somebody to take you there? Is there an actual taxi service? Or maybe one of those golf carts like the ones you see in the airport that take lazy people around? No, actually, you'd just be dragged by your hair by a tall, surly demon. It's actually hilarious to watch. If you just wait one moment, I'll have one here in a jiffy. Wait. Fine, I'll take it up with hell. They must be more reasonable there. Oh, and by the way, you're a dumbass and rude, and I will be reporting you to corporate. Oh, please let the live feed for the help desk still be working. I need to know how they handle her down there. Well, that soul was quite rude to you. Yeah, we get a lot of those. It's usually people trying to weasel their way out of a punishment level of some sort. You can be as rude as you want to those people. It's not like they can get you fired. Actually, for you, I'm going to have to look into that, but I'm pretty sure they can't get you fired. Yes, but it does nothing to improve their attitude towards you. Hey, Karen's gonna Karen. When I had a job like this in life, I refused to suffer fools like that. You know, I haven't actually looked at your dossier yet, but I am willing to bet that you have never had a job like this in your life. Untrue. I worked in a field that required customer service all of the time. Really? What exactly did you do? I owned a country club. A very exclusive one at that. Okay, schmoozing rich assholes at a hoity-toity country club does not count as customer service. I think your argument is faulty. I had customers, I ensured they received service, ergo, customer service. Okay, smart guy, you think you know the job already? Then why don't you take the next soul? Next! Finally, okay, listen up, moron, and let's make this quick. You're going to help me, you're going to do it fast, and you're going to do it well. And if you do, things won't have to get messy around here. All right, bright boy, you're up. Pay attention, dumbass. I don't want to go where they told me to go. So what you're going to do is you're going to make it so that I can get into heaven and not hell. All right? Now make it quick. You said I was allowed to be rude in return, correct? I will not get in trouble for this. Have at it. Just try not to go overboard. Pay attention, dumbass. I ain't going where they told me to go. I deserve a spot in heaven. I ain't going to hell, so you're going to do whatever you have to do to make that right. And I don't have to knock your teeth out. Call me moron again, and whatever punishment awaits you will pale in comparison to the wrath I bring upon your head. What in the hell do you think you just said to me? You will be quiet while I am talking. Yes, sir. Now, tablet. Here you go. Thank you. It seems by your dossier that you have earned a cozy little spot in the fiery pits. But I don't deserve it. Yes, you did. You were a bully, a gangster, and a killer. Look, pal, I was only following orders. Go through the door behind me, find the gates of hell, and walk down to level 7. But that's not fair! One more word out of you, and I will ensure that your punishment is even more brutal. Go now. Okay, so I have some notes. While I appreciate that the soul was dealt with, I think you leaned a bit too hard on the rage button back there. What does that matter if it gets the job done? It got the job done this time. However, not every soul is going to react well to angry intensity. And not every soul that comes here deserves it either. It works on most. Not really. Frankly, you're lucky that it worked this time. People listen better when they believe they have something to fear. I find my harsh tone can work quite well with that. Anger isn't the only emotion in your head. Haven't you ever watched Inside Out? What nonsense are you blathering about? Inside Out. The Pixar movie. Oh, I don't bother with children's movies. They're the lowest form of entertainment. Ugh, we have so much work to do on you emotionally. Emotions are for women and children. A very, very large amount of work to do. Back to the point. If you rely on rage for everything, have you ever heard the expression, when the only tool you use is a hammer, every problem is a nail? I fail to see the problem. You need therapy. Now you're sounding like my ex-wives. Whoa. Are you telling me that not only were you able to con a woman into marrying you, you were able to make that happen not once, But multiple times? Don't we have souls to help? Fine. But I'm gonna get that story eventually. Next! Hi there, hello. I was wondering if you could give me directions to hell. 1L or 2? 1L. I was a Norse pagan in life. Oh, you're gonna go back the way you came, go down the hallway, turn left, you're gonna hit a hallway with Viking memorabilia. You're gonna go travel down for a bit, you'll eventually hit a door that has guards in front of it. That's Valhalla, they won't let you in there. Keep walking, you're gonna hit a second set of doors, that's where you're going. If you hit a group of people that are drunk and looking for a fight, you've gone too far. Thank you. How did I know that? I've never been anywhere here except Double L hell. Ah, see, that's the power of the information desk here at the Gates of Judgement. Directions just pop into your head whenever you need to help a soul find their way. That was a bizarre feeling, like a map was unfolding in my head. You'll get used to it eventually, one of the many perks of working here. Is there anything else like that I should be aware of? Well, it may blow your mind to know that soul just now, yeah, they were actually speaking Portuguese. The afterlife just kind of translates everything in the air for you. It's kind of like your own personal babblefish. What in the hell is a babblefish? You don't know much about nerd culture, do you? That's okay. You strike me as the kind of guy that would like Game of Thrones. That should be a decent enough gateway into the rest of the nerd fandom. Hi, am I in the right place? Alright, intern, help this one too. Don't get so angry this time. Yes, well, that depends on where you want to be. Did I get to the Gates of Judgement? That seems to be where we are, yes. Oh, good. I think there's been a mistake. Let me guess. You've been sent to hell, but you don't think you deserve to be there. No. I was assigned a paradise, and I don't think I deserve to be there. Oh, that sounds like a serious slip-up. Are you sure a mistake was made? I think so. I'm not as good as they think I am. I did a lot of bad stuff when I was alive. It's times like these where a soul's dossier could come in handy. Yes, well, we'll sort this out. It doesn't look like you did anything seriously wrong. A few minor things, but nothing untoward. See, that's not right. I did a lot of things wrong. I was an addict. I did drugs. I drank a lot. I wasn't right in the head. Intern, I think you should step back for a second. I don't... Yes. You're right. I must excuse myself from this. I apologize. Okay. As for you, see, addiction is an affliction. It has to do with chemistry in the brain and psychology. Just because you're an addict in life doesn't make you a bad person. You could do a lot of things in order to chase that addiction that might make you a bad person, but see, you didn't do those things. You were overall good. You did nothing incredibly morally wrong. You were loved, and you loved in return. Therefore, ultimately, you're seen as a good person. I don't know if any of that is actually true, but thank you. I needed to hear it. Of course, if you're still not feeling very confident in the decision of the universe, I do have somewhat of a recommendation for you. I I'd like that. You could go to hell. What? Did you just tell a soul with problems to go to hell? Is that what we do around here? Tell addicts they're not good enough? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Easy there, intern. Calm down. I didn't mean it like that. Let me explain. Yeah, I mean, if he thinks I deserve to go to hell, then I'll go there. No. You're taking me all out of context, all right? You'll just listen. I'll explain. So, yes, hell is for punishments. Then why would you do it? But, hell is also very highly praised for its therapy levels, level 1 and level 2. They have some of the best therapists available. They have sensory deprivation tanks. Just think of a form of therapy, and they will have it. And you can go there too. They don't just take people who are resigned to hell, they take walk-ins. Really? Do they help screw-ups like me? Don't be so reductive of yourself. You did a lot of good too. Anyway, yes, they accept people like you all the time. A lot of people who come here aren't ready to accept their paradise just yet. The therapy levels can help you come to terms with your past and with yourself. Soon enough, they'll help you see that you deserve your own paradise. If they can help me, then I'll go there. How do I? So, you're going to want to go into the gates behind me. They're already set for hell. Just walk until you come to a set of iron gates, flanked by 2 very scary-looking demons. They're sweethearts, I promise. Just let them know that you're there for therapy. They'll point you in the right direction. Thank you. Thank you. Are you okay? I don't know. It's okay if you're not okay. I don't know about that. You did pretty well with that one. Some souls are going to get emotionally intense like that. In those situations, it's important to remain calm. Considering that you got a little bit angry in the middle there, I think you did decently. I faltered. I noticed. I didn't help that soul who needed it. That's okay. I picked up the slack. I also failed to keep my composure. I apologize. It won't happen again. Yes, it will. And we'll both see how you react when it does happen again. Do you want to talk about your emotional reaction back there? I'm sorry. I still don't know you well enough for any of that. Fair enough. But eventually, you're going to have to learn to trust me. It's not going to work. What's that? This whole rehabilitation thing. I don't think it's going to work. Then it won't. What? If you don't think that this process is going to work, then it won't work. Think of it like a self-fulfilling prophecy. You don't think it's going to work, therefore your brain will work against it. I suppose I need it to work if I want to earn my way out of hell. Then the first step to any rehabilitation process is admitting the problem. So I ask you this sincerely. Do you admit that in life you weren't a very good person? It's not that simple. Yes, it is. It really is. Now I'm going to ask you again. Do you admit that in life you weren't a very good person? Yes. Then say it. I wasn't a good person when I was alive. There you go. You just passed the first major step to rehab for the soul. Yippee. Alright, intern, since you've been doing such a good job with the souls recently, I've decided to give you some homework while I take care of the next few. Read this. Become very familiar with it. It gets a few facts wrong, but it'll come in handy around here.
Mythology for dummies?
Yeah, some of the details are completely made up, but it'll do for baby's first mythology book. You'll need it in case you need to point a soul in the right direction, or if one of those gods just happens to show up. Happens more often than you think.
Ugh, just send me back to hell.
Would if I could, boss, but you're in my world now, so get reading.
Fine, but it would be easier to do without the handcuffs.
The handcuffs don't come off until I think they're ready to come off. Next!
Alright, I got all my errands done and I'm ready for that fresh cup of hot goss.
Hermes, it feels like you've been gone for weeks.
Really? I thought it'd been only a few hours, but I can never tell. Human time never really made sense to me.
It's not like time matters much around here, right? Jeremy bury me, baby.
Right.
I see you finally got your hat back from Poseidon.
Yes, and that's the last time I ever lend him anything. This hat is going to smell like a sushi restaurant for weeks. Anyway, is that him?
That guy? Yep. That's the intern, sent from hell.
Kinda gruff looking, isn't he? Ooh, kinky, he's wearing fuzzy handcuffs.
Yeah, apparently that's all they had down at the help desk.
So what's his story?
Don't know. Haven't opened his dossier yet.
Why the blue blazes not? If I were you, I couldn't read it fast enough. What kind of man would they want to send you as an intern?
Look, all I know is that this is a soul in need of redemption, and the big bosses think that he can find it here.
And you've decided to deprive yourself of the soul's juicy backstory? I bet it's weird. Look how natural he looks in those fuzzy handcuffs. I bet he was really into some nasty stuff.
It's not that I'm not interested in his story, it's just... Okay, when he first got here, I was ready to hate him on principle. I was seeing him as a major obstacle in my steps to being a Reaper.
Yeah, I was here and I saw how your face fell when you realized that they didn't give you the position you wanted. Sorry about that, by the way.
But then I started to think, and I realized that the powers that be gave him to me for a reason. Yeah, he's full of rage, and he has some outdated ideas in his head, but he needs my help. And if the big bosses think that he can find that help here, then I will do my best to do that. But I think if I try to read his life story before he shares it with me, then it'll cloud my judgment. I'd rather get to know the man first, and I'll see what he's willing to share with me as time goes on.
Well, I guess that's noble of you. Honorable.
You still totally want to read his dossier, don't you?
Are you kidding? I've already stolen your tablet. Oh, this is going to be the best gossip since Aphrodite got caught with Hephaestus. Hello and welcome to the Gates of Judgement, where the question of religion has a multiple choice answer. How can I help you?
Hi, I'm hoping you can help me. I'm not sure where I need to go.
What in particular were you looking for?
Well, I'm a Wiccan, and to be honest, I'm a little bit confused that I'm here right now.
Ah, this actually happens all the time. Let me guess. You were expecting to become an energy that was at one with the universe, right?
Yep. You can imagine my surprise when I woke up here.
Yeah, it can definitely be disorienting if you're not expecting it. So, as a Wiccan, you actually have several afterlife options depending on the deity that you choose.
Really? I can go for anything?
Yeah, it's actually the same package that we offer atheists who find their way here. You can choose to be judged by whatever deity that you see fit.
That seems like a really tough decision.
If you'd like, I can give you a bit of information about the Wiccan Summerlands and see if that's a good fit for you.
Oh, I remember some of my friends telling me about that. There's not a lot I remember about it, though.
Okay, so I might be remembering a lot of this wrong, but I'm going to try to explain it as best as I can.
All right, lay it on me. I'm ready.
There's two areas of the Summerland. The first one is considered kind of a common area. It's the equivalent of a paradise in any other religion. It's pretty beautiful from what I've been told. There's a farmer's market, a lot of trinkets, and cute little knickknacks on sale.
Oh, that sounds lovely. Wait, I don't need money here, do I?
No, capitalism really isn't a thing here. Most people just share and share alike. Anyway, there is another area of the Summerlands that's more like a punishment level, although calling it a punishment is a bit harsh, and they wouldn't call it that.
So, what's that like?
Well, that area is also made up of two zones. The first one is therapy, which can help you on a personal level or get you ready to reincarnate if you decide to go that route. The other area is something they call karmic retribution. If you weren't a very good person in life, and if you put any negative energy into the universe, all of that negative energy comes right back at you.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Say, would you be able to tell me if I have to go through karmic retribution? You know, before I pick the Wiccan Summerlands as my official afterlife?
Unfortunately, no. The Wiccans have a very special rule. You have to go in blind and accept whatever it is they tell you. But relax. Whatever happens, I'm sure that you can take it.
Yeah, I guess you're right. You know what? I've decided. I'm going to go with the Wiccan Summerlands. Could you tell me how to get there?
Just 1 second. All right. The gates behind me should be set to the Wiccan Summerlands now. Just step right through. Good luck.
Thanks. Hello, Intern. I'm Hermes. Yes, I figured from the hat. You've been watching me for a while doing your own reading. Oh, you noticed then. I have excellent peripheral vision. So, learn anything? I learned what I needed to learn about you. Well, go on then. Tell me how I'm not good enough to be here. Tell me that I deserve my spot in hell. Tell me I don't deserve my redemption from the Gates of Judgement. Angelo believes in you. Yes, well, one might say it's a misplaced belief. I guess that remains to be seen. Well, if you'll excuse me, I have reading to do. You know, the gods of the Greek pantheon can be called many things. Petty, powerful, egotistical. But there's one thing that you can't call most of us, and that's loyal. Yes, I'm beginning to put that together. Zeus in particular has a very loose understanding of marriage. You know, if I had your history, I would be making offhand comments about other people's romantic loyalties. Good argument, and well made. Look, my point is, I am loyal to Angelo. In fact, I would categorize us as best friends. So if he sees something in you, then I'm willing to as well. But if he's going to play the good cop, then somebody around here has to play the bad cop. I'm quaking in my boots. You laugh now, but that book will soon teach you how vengeful a Greek god can be. Yeah, and that might mean something, if I believed in more than the one god. Okay, that was funny. You're funny. But you seem to be forgetting one very, very important detail. And that is, I just read your dossier. Your whole dossier. I know things that you don't. About your kids. All of your kids. I'm listening. You make some progress down here. Maybe I let slip a few things that I know that you're dying to know. But you slip up. You put a toe out of line. You do anything that makes me even remotely angry, I'll make sure you never know. You know, while I do appreciate it, one might say that a bad cop wouldn't be offering these things. They'd be threatening jail time. What can I say? I'm new to this. Now, do you agree to my terms? All right. You have a deal, Mr. God of Animal Husbandry. Damn it, you steal a bunch of cows the one time! You know, Hermes, since you're here, may I ask you something? Ask away. Can't promise you'll like the answer, though.
I'm barely into the Greek chapters here, but something that this book mentions is that every mythology has a myth about the creation of the universe. Ah yes, one of the basic questions of human existence. How did everything come to be? See, it stands to reason that different cultures would have different answers. Well, I'm attempting to wrap my head around this whole Gates of Judgement job. And in particular, the fact that all of these myths and religions actually exist. You say that so incredulously. I spent my entire life thinking that only one religion was actually true. It's a difficult belief to break. I get it. You're not the first one to think that you had the answers all along, and you're not going to be the last. I'm just saying it's challenging to understand, especially given the contradictions, which brings me to my question. Yeah, I figured it out already when you were talking about creation stories. Go ahead and ask it. Which creation story is correct? You are really not gonna like what I have to say. Try me. All of them. All of them are right. Every single one. See, that doesn't make sense at all. Like, at all. It's like I just asked you what 2 plus 2 equals, and the answer that you gave me was any number from 1 to 50. Let me tell you a story. I feel like you're avoiding the issue. I have a point, trust me. So there are these 3 blind wise men, and they are told that they're going to be put in a room with an animal. Now they have to figure out what the animal is, but they're only allowed to touch one part of the animal while they're in there. Is this going to be some kind of riddle? Let me finish. The first blind man reaches out and finds something large and flappy and leathery. He thinks it's a great big wing, and he says this is a giant bat. The second one reaches out and feels the side of the animal. It's wide, it has rough skin, and it is a little bit leathery. He says, no, this is not a bat, this is a rhinoceros. The third one reaches out and finds a long piece of skin that is muscly and wriggles as he handles it. Head out of the gutter. The third blind man says, you're both nuts, this is a snake. Well, they all start arguing. Finally, they call their challenger in and they say, please tell us what the animal is right now. The challenger says, gentlemen, you're all wrong. The animal is actually an elephant. Fascinating. Was there a point to that story? See, the point of the story is that they were each working off of limited information, so they couldn't see the big picture. That's what humanity did. They all had a unique perspective of what was going on. So they worked off of the information that they knew, and they came up with a story of creation for their own religion. Okay. Here's what I'm choosing to take away from your little parable there. They're all just stories. Stop overthinking it. That may be for the best. All right, I have several bones to pick with you. Welcome to the Gates of Judgment. What seems to be the problem? The problem is I'm back here when I've already chosen an afterlife. Ooh, can I help out with this? It feels like forever since I've been behind the desk. Be my guest. Now you. Why were you here? Like I was saying, I was in my chosen afterlife, and then I got eaten by this big monster thing, and then I ended up back here. Huh. Do you think Cerberus got out again? Even if he did, Cerberus would just spit him back out. Or he'd swallow him and he'd end up getting out the other way. But even then, the guy would only be semi-traumatized and he wouldn't end up back here. It wasn't a 3-headed dog that ate you, was it? No, it was this big, dinosaur lizard thing. It had, these cat-like front paws of some sort and really short, stubby back legs. Oh, I'm getting the picture now. He's very poorly describing a myth, right? I think that's what he's doing. You were in the Egyptian afterlife? Yeah, and it took forever. The longest, most uncomfortable boat ride of my life. Endless riddles, exhausting physical challenges, and I feel like I was doing all that for decades. Hold on, let me check. Actually, you were lowballing it. You were in the duat for nearly a century. Man. All of that, all of it,
and I'm still deemed unworthy by the time I get to this scale thing at the end. But it doesn't even make sense. Of course my heart was heavier than a feather. That's how physics works. See, the reason you were eaten is because you were an Egyptologist during the whole Egyptomania phase back in the, I want to say the mid-1900s? Yeah. So what? They had a fascinating culture. Oh yeah, I remember that. You guys treated the dead really poorly. You treated their tombs like your own personal playgrounds. I heard there were even parties where these guys would unwrap mummies like candy and eat their skin like jerky. Ugh. Yeah, I went to one of those. The meat was a little bit dry. Gross. No wonder Amit ate you. Wait, hold on. Why wasn't the soul destroyed? I thought that's what Amit did. Yeah, there was a meeting. Some people thought it was too harsh if the soul got destroyed completely. So instead they poof right back here. Amit still gets a snack, but the soul doesn't get destroyed. Ah, yeah, I guess that makes sense. Hello? Can we get back to me? 1 second. Is it possible for him to go into the duat again? Nope. Once Amit eats you, Anubis will not allow you back into the Egyptian afterlife, unless you've gone through life again in the mortal realm. So what am I supposed to do now? Oh, I have a few suggestions, but you're not going to like a single one of them. Okay, so, to recap. Your soul went through the Egyptian afterlife. At the end, the scales did not go in your favor, you were eaten by Amit, and then your soul was ejected from the Egyptian afterlife and brought back here to the Gates of Judgment. Is that right? Oh, thank you so much for a summation of events I already know. What are you, a newscaster? Calm down, sir. Angelo's just trying to think of your next move. What the hell am I supposed to do now? Pick another one? I already said, if I have to go to hell, I refuse to pick Christianity. Let's take a look at your file, shall we? Okay, I see. Alright, I'm starting to get the picture here, and luckily for you, there are still 1 or 2 options left. Well, get on with it. I don't have all day. Okay, the good news is that the time that you spent going through the Egyptian duat counts as time served in a punishment level. The bad news is that no matter what religion or mythology you decide to go for, you're still going to have to go to a punishment level. It seems that while you were alive, you were quite the jerk. Yeah, and he's still a piece of work in death. Are you kidding me? Haven't I suffered enough? I was trying for the Egyptian afterlife for so long. How is that not all the punishment that I need? Well, let me ask you this. Do you feel the punishment was deserved? No, of course not. I never did anything wrong. There's your answer. You are not making any sense at all. Be that as it may, you are working with limited options here. If I refuse to go any place that will punish me, what else can I do? Well, one option is oblivion. Basically, you go into it and you aren't anything anymore. Well, that's dark. Why would I want to do that? Well, different souls have different reasons. The only thing that you can do after that is reincarnation. You have to go back to the mortal realm and try again. So my options are stop existing, go to some kind of hell, or try for life again. Yeah, doy. I think there's a correct answer here. Don't be so sure about that. Right, because of the way time in the afterlife moves, you could go back anywhere or any when. Exactly. You could go back to what's considered modern times, but you could just as easily go back and get the short end of the stick. Say as a slave in Egypt. Whatever. It's gotta be better than hell. Which way? Okay, you're gonna go back to the front desk. There's gonna be a line and there's gonna be signs. You could be waiting for a while, though. You're welcome, I guess. So, he's definitely getting that Egyptian slave life, isn't he? I tried to warn him. The universe does so love cosmic irony. So I couldn't help but overhear earlier. Did you say that because of the way time works here, if somebody was reincarnated, there's a possibility they could go into the past? Yeah, it's hard to explain and even more difficult to understand. Yeah, and it becomes even harder to wrap your head around when it comes to the souls around here. How so? Well, how can I put this simply?
Some of the souls still waiting in line might have died even before you did, even if they just arrived here. For example, do you remember the guy with the fedora earlier? The one that you yelled at? The one I got angry at, yes. I don't know if you noticed, but he actually died in the 1930s. Honestly, I thought that was a typo on the dossier. Nope, that was the actual date of death. Apparently he was killed by his own boss, though he didn't even know it. And I bet if you checked outside in line right now, you'd find souls that died centuries ago who are still waiting. Sorry, my brain is melting. How can someone who died first arrive after someone who died after? Look, you're assuming that time is a straight line here. It's not. It's actually more like a big ball of wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey stuff. I may be more confused than ever. You see, this is why I said it was difficult to understand. We've actually had Einstein trying to figure out how time works here, and he just can't figure it out. Am I overthinking this stuff again? See, I thought you had learned your lesson with the whole creation myths fiasco. Look, the real truth here is none of it really matters. All you have to know is if a soul comes here looking for help, you help them. Plain and simple. All the time stuff is just extra information you don't really need to care about. Fine. Whatever. I think I'm getting a headache. What's that? Oh. You know, I totally forgot I had this. It almost never goes off. Hello? So you converted to Christianity on your deathbed. May I ask, why did you think you needed to? It wasn't my idea at first. My wife was afraid for me. Is there any particular reason why you felt you needed to save your soul, as it were? Well, you know, dying makes you rethink your life. Yeah, but your life was, well... What, was I so bad that I'm going to hell no matter what? The opposite, actually. It seems like you lived a good life of charity. What, really? Wow, I actually thought I was a bit of a brat when I was a kid. While you had some minor problems in childhood, it looks like you were good, for the most part. I do see one situation where you punched somebody out. Is that correct? Ha! Yeah, that was a bit of an overblown reaction. See, what happened was he was really bullying my friend and I had had enough. On the bright side, though, he never did it again. That's not even a sin. You were just defending a friend. Heck, later in life, you even had a non-profit organization for children. You made sure that children had stuff to play with while they were in the hospital. Right. Converting to Christianity was not necessary for you. In fact, the way you acted in your life was actually better than some lifelong Christians. Well, if I'm being totally honest, I was afraid too. I just didn't know what to expect when I died. Yes, death is a terrifying experience. Actually, I had a question/request, if that's all right. Go ahead, ask away. So, one of the favorite songs between me and my wife was a song by Brad Paisley. It was called Waiting on a Woman. Oh, I've heard of that song. I used to tease my third wife with it all the time. She absolutely hated it. In the spirit of that song, is there like a waiting area that I can just stay in for a while my wife lives her life and I can just be there when she gets here? Good question. Is there? So this is actually quite common. We get it all the time. If you'd like to wait for your wife while she's living her life, then there's a designated waiting area. If you go back to the front desk, go to a hallway on the right, it's clearly labeled and there's like a common area where you can wait with other people, or if you'd like some privacy, there are some personal rooms. Will she be able to find me when she gets here? Of course, we will point her in the right direction if needed, but that's information that she should get as soon as she gets here. How about, is there a way for me to watch over her while I wait? There's this thing called Mortal Tube. It's on every single TV, computer, tablet. It's on everything. There is? Yeah, and there are plenty of tablets and computers in the waiting area. User-friendly, too. Should explain how to use the apps and how to check in on your loved ones as well. Thank you so much. You know, I really do hope she takes her time. I don't mind waiting on a woman. All right, I'll let him know. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's fine. Yeah, he's usually around here anyway. All right, take care. Hermes, did you turn off your phone again? Can't a god take a break every now and then? Yeah, well, apparently Hera is absolutely livid. She's been trying to get in contact with you for a while now. Really? Ah, shoot, that's right. I was supposed to meet with her for lunch at Dee's place. I'd leave now or she may take your head off. I'm going. Later, Angie. Intern, try not to make too much trouble. Intern, let's give you a little break from thinking and reading. You seem a little frustrated after our talk about time. Help the next few souls at the Gates of Judgement. Hopefully it's not too taxing on you. Fine, but I reserve the right to back away if the soul starts pissing me off. Fine with me. Next! Welcome to the Gates of Judgement, where time can cause all kinds of headaches. How can I help you? Okay, well, that's a weird way to greet somebody. Just please tell me what you want already. I'm here because I guess I'm a Christian. Although, to be honest with you, I'm not sure I really count as one. Oh, why is everybody insisting on talking in circles today? Rein it in, intern. Let the soul explain. Pardon me. What exactly do you mean? I converted on my deathbed. I was an agnostic for most of my life. I guess I was really only a Christian for a few hours at the end of my life. Let me check on that for you. Actually, you lasted a couple of days after you converted. You just kind of slipped in and out of unconsciousness. Really? Oh, God. I feel very bad for my family. I hope I didn't put them through too much emotional pain right there at the end. From what I can tell... Okay, I won't lie to you. The transition was not easy on them. Anyway, converting right before you die opens up the possibility of getting a Christian afterlife, but it doesn't guarantee it. No? Well, then, if I may ask, how does one get into the Christian heaven? Well, it all depends on the sort of life you led. Oh, I think their destination is pretty cut and dry. What exactly do you mean by that? Take a look. All right. Oh.